everyone. Thank you, delegates and panelists, for joining this session before time. My name is Gopal Krishna Anand, Associate Editor of OEM Update magazine, and I welcome you all to the OEM Updates interactive session on advances in sheet metal forming technology. Ms. Kritika, editorial OEM update, to introduce the panelists and also moderate the session. I welcome Ms. Kritika to take over.
Thank you, Mr. Gopal. Hello, everyone, and welcome to OEM Updates interactive session on advances in sheet metal forming technology. In sheet metal forming, the desired shape of a part is made from metal sheet. It is used in almost every sector of industrial production, such as automotive, aircrafts, home appliances, and food industry. Sheet metal fabrication is the subtractive processing method to cut sheet metal parts. Current advances in metal forming technologies are bringing in improvements in manufacturing efficiency and in simulation accuracy. The global market for sheet metal fabrication services, estimated at $15 billion in the year 2022, is projected to reach a size of $17 billion by 2026, growing at a CAGR of 2.6%. Increasing demand for sheet metal fabrication from a wide range of major end users such as defense, aerospace, automotive, industrial machinery, consumer products, and electronics is expected to drive growth. Moreover, the current focus on enhancing operational efficiency and lean manufacturing is contributing to increased demand for the process of sheet metal forming among OEM. Likewise, developments in material processing technologies have led to development of alloys with improved mechanical performance. On this note, today we have come together to witness an engaging interactive session on advances in sheet metal forming technology. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and privilege for me to introduce you to today's distinguished speakers. Mr. Avinash Khare, IMTMA, Head of Pune Technology Center. Mr. Rakesh Agarwal, Managing Director, Laser Technologies Private Limited. Mr. Uday Dikshit, Product Manager for Automated Inspection System at Carl Zeiss India Private Limited. I would like to invite Mr. Gopal Anand, Associate Editor, OEM Update, to initiate this.
Thank you, Kritika. My first question is to Mr. Uday Dikshit. So you were talking about new technologies in inspection systems. What is the scope for automated inspections in sheet metal forming?
Globally, all the automotive manufacturers or aerospace manufacturers are using the inline automated inspection system to meet their high quality standard. These systems detect the deviations and the defined characteristics and provide 100% inspection in the production cycle, and enabling the manufacturers to drastically reduce the startup times and especially during the product ramp up. So with this system, better process control is achieved, saving a lot of losses by detecting the defect early in the production stage. Since the car body or the two-wheeler frame will be there, whether there is a traditional IC engine or a new electric power. So the scope for automated inspection will continue to be there for a very long time, and this is likely to grow further because there is a rising demand for inspection of even a battery trays in the electric vehicle. In battery electric vehicle, the battery tray consists of mostly a very complex welded aluminum profile, and they need to be checked for ensuring the proper cooling. We see there is a very big scope for automated inspection for sure, and not only in automobile but also in aerospace.
Mr. Avinash, you were talking about dies and typical applications, cold stamping and laser technologies. We got one question also from one of the delegates.
Yeah.
How we can reduce the cost of laser machines to increase affordability, as we are normally slow in adopting technology as a result of high capital investment.
Agrawal said in his presentation, the costs are already coming down, and they have come down significantly, and they will continue to come down. Plus, it is a question of volumes. As the presence of laser increases in India, the costs are going to come down. The cost of competency also will come down. So, to that extent, yes, as the usage will grow, the cost is going to come down on its own. Of course, technology-wise, a lot has been done by laser manufacturers. Like we have moved from CO2 laser to diode laser, disc laser, fiber laser, where things are much more modular. much more solid state, maintenance free. They have lesser moving part. So to that extent, they are less troublesome as it is as we move forward. And going further, the same trend is going to continue. So that is not a concern according to me. As the usage ramps up, the cost will come down on its own. Just like cell phones. Your voice is not audible, sir.
Yeah, that's better visualization because balancing has to be there.
Yeah.
So my next question to you is, how do you visualize growth potential in India for advanced sheet metal forming technologies?
Sir, some years back, some 20, 30 years back when I started my career, most of the sheet metal forming was being patronized, the technology was being bought by automotive OEM themselves. Now, because they had the financial muscle and they had the wherewithal to, and the appetite for that kind of technology incubation. But of late, what has happened that everybody has started outsourcing it and outsourcing it for least cost. As a result, the tier 1, tier 2 vendors have not much choice or capability to be able to absorb that kind of latest premium technology, so to say, because they have had a tendency of going for second and third hand equipment also. And usually what happened then, the technology which was low end only came to India. So once again, the game has to shift to automotive OEMs, that they have to promote it in a bigger way. Second role is with educational institutions. I don't see any single course anywhere which is covering the whole gamut of sheet metal forming, including equipment, including simulation software, including automation. That is something that we are trying to do at IMTMA by doing some courses, I would say stray courses now, because we are not able to do a very long course in one go. So we do 2-day course, 3-day course here and there, and we try to address all these requirements. But then there has to be a systematic approach. If we systematically teach our boys all these technologies, hopefully they will catch up fast. Mainly it is a question of building confidence and competence.
That's right.
These two C's if we are addressing, and of course the cost part.
Thank you very much, Mr. Avinash. That's very enlightening, and education is must for that. Mr. Rakesh, I would like your views about the growth potential.
Gopalji, as I earlier, shared with you that growth is inevitable. We are growing and we will grow. And the major shift is like exports. As it's like government is giving so many incentives on exports, and also there are so many schemes for manufacturing in India. So under that Make in India concept, under the PLI schemes, and India itself has a huge market. We still, need to develop our infrastructure. Like so many metro projects are coming. They all need sheet metal. So wherever you see, from morning to evening, you see lot of sheet metal. Lot of airports has to come. Lot of road work has to be done. Lot of bridges has to be made. So we are in growth phase, and I don't see that by next 10 years there is any hindrance or there is any obstacle in our growth. So and it will be not only some percentage wise, but it will be 2x or 3x, like that kind of growth we see. So yeah, I'm very optimistic, and yeah, I'm very hopeful for that.
That's quite optimistic view you are telling about the growth potential. My next question to you is, what new thermal cutting technologies are available in the market?
See, thermal, if you check, then HD plasma cutting, if you see, and oxy-fuel cutting. If you are having higher thicknesses, if you want to cut say 200 mm and 100 mm or above material, then these are one of the best technologies wherein you can cut higher thicknesses, especially for structural steel or heavy fabrication. So these are some of the technologies which are coming up and which will stay. It's not that laser will replace everything. It's a tool. So wherever it is needed, we should use it there only. There are some benefits of laser. It's not that it's a magic that it will come into our shop floor and it will do everything. So yes, we have to have multiple technologies with us, and wherever anything fits, we have to use that wisely. And for that, we need lot of awareness and education, and I'm happy that IMTMA is offering such courses. We also have plans to have some laser institute in India, and on that we are also working. So let's see if we can do something in this. I will talk to IMTMA as well for that. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rakesh, for the enlightening views about this. Coming to Mr. Uday Dikshit, you were talking about the new technologies in inspection systems. So what is the scope for automated inspections in sheet metal forming?
Yes, there are several reasons that why we should have automated inspection in the whole process, because automation reduces the uncertainty in any inspection process. The decision become far more efficient and reliable, and the quality inspection also must keep with a fast pace of highly automated production. The inspection is required to be carried out without any stoppage in the production cycle. Increasing demands on flexibility and productivity also require that in the inspection system. We should quickly adapt to the new changes in the design of the part, and also with all the digital outputs, the objective of Industry 4.0 and smart factory, and it can be achieved. So these are the 4 or 5 reasons I would say that these are really essential why we should adopt the automated inspection system.
Thank you, Mr. Uday, for sharing your views about this. Mr. Avinash Khare, I'm coming back to you. Do you think application of Industry 4.0 method is essential for bringing improvement in simulation accuracy for sheet metal forming?
Industry 4 is all about data automation. More data you have, you can have a more faithful simulation, a faithful technical forecast, I will say, a better techno-astrology, as you may want to put, in simulation, so that you are able to predict what is going to happen when you use certain parameters. Yes, but having said so, there are 2 kind of things which are happening with Industry 4. The corrections have to happen with the data, and corrections can happen predictively or adaptively. Now, predictively you do when you use postmortem data, so that for the future project you are able to do it better, so that similar failure will not happen. Okay, that is called the predictive way of simulating and making sure that the failure will not repeat. The other way is adaptive way. Suppose you want to do it for running project or job at hand. If you can inspect, if you can acquire data, and if you can take corrective action while it is in the process, and if you can dynamically improve adaptively so that the part comes out all right, irrespective of time. That is the ultimate goal of Industry 4. Corrections have to become adaptive. We don't want a single patient to die. That is the ultimate expectation from Industry 4. So measurements have to be adaptive, corrections have to be adaptive on the fly directly. Now, this is a tall order, I know today, but that's what is expected of Industry 4 ultimately.
Thank you, Mr. Avinash, for the same. Mr. Uday wanted to add to.
I just want to continue with Avinash Khare's opinion. It's absolutely right. That is why 100% inspection in line is getting adopted by most of the companies now, and they are having a very close process control. Just to give you a very small example, a stud is getting welded on a sheet metal body, and slowly it is getting drifted, because of some error in the manufacturing process. Since we are having a 100% inspection, the inspection system will show you that this position is slowly getting shifted, going towards the tolerance zone, the boundary of the tolerance zone, and you are being forewarned before you produce a not okay part, and then you can take a corrective action well in advance to reduce the losses in the production. So this is exactly what I think Avinash Khare is expecting.
Yes, not Avinash Khare. Industry,
I will
that
say.
That is what is the requirement for tomorrow.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, the next step will be the industry is expecting automatic correction in the whole process. This is really very complicated. Yes. But at least let us go one step further, that you at least identify the problem.
I said it is a tall order. It will take time to happen, but that is the ultimate.
Yes, that should be the goal. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Uday, for that. Mr. Rakesh, would you want to add anything to it?
Yeah, I would just like to ask if we are really ready for that. Do we have that kind of education, or do we have that kind of mindset? Because closed loop feedback, that's always needed, and correction is always needed. But are we ready with that? My kind of question to Avinash ji, if because he is moving into
that is what I said. That is the scope of development in India. That is what we ought to be doing, so that we are able to do this ultimately.
Thank you, Mr. Rakesh. Thank you, Mr. Avinash, and thank you, Mr. Uday, for the wonderful explanations. This panel discussion was very interesting and knowledge sharing. It was our privilege to host experts like you all. Even we had a very interactive delegates today. We still have got many questions that are not addressed due to timeline. Now, may I request Mr. Uday Dikshit to give a closing statement for this session, sir.
I would like to thank OEM Update, for organizing this very nice session. There are many experienced people like Rakesh sir and Avinash sir in this field. They shared a very good views about the market size and the new expectations. It was really nice interactive session, and you have organized it in very well manner. I really appreciate this. Yeah. I think we should have many more sessions on different topics like this. We are very closely associated with IMTMA, for educating people on inspection technologies. So we help to have a live demos to their participants sometimes. So we would like to continue with that. And if you need any knowledge sharing, we will be more than happy. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Uday, for nice answers, nice closing. I would request Ms. Kritika to close the session, please. Give a closing remark.
Thank you, panelists, for exchanging your valuable thoughts on today's topic, advances in sheet metal forming technology. Viewers, we hope you enjoyed the session thoroughly. Before wrapping up today's session, we would like to thank our distinguished panelists, Mr. Avinash Khare, Mr. Rakesh Agarwal, and Mr. Uday Dikshit. I would also like to thank Mr. Gopalanand and Mr. Prasad Nair for taking this initiative. We would like our delegates and viewers to stay connected with us on our social media handles. OEM Update is available on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Additionally, you can also download our app from Google Play and App Store. So with this, we would like to announce the closing of today's session. Request you to stay tuned for more such sessions. Thank you and goodbye.